Hi, I don't know if you can hear me, but alright, this is basically the muscle, how it works. Right here I have a very basic nerves. In Maya it's called nerves. So as you can see, let me remove it. There's a spline that's coming from one end of the muscle. Template it. It's going to be coming from one end to the muscle, which as you can see flexes it, to the other end of the muscle, which flexes it. So in this case, I have this controller basically constrained to this bone in this position here, and I'll show you why here, and I constrained it here and not here in the axis of this bone. And this one you can constrain it to wherever the muscle ends. This one doesn't really matter where. Okay, basically the way it works is like this. If I have, I'm not going to do it now because it's probably going to give me problems. Yeah, because as you can see the translates are attached. But let me just break the translates for a second there, and it should be able to let me move them without any problems. Alright, if I put this here, if I like lock this to the pivot of this right there, watch what happens. If I move this, see how the muscle doesn't really flex? Okay, that's because it's pivoting on this axis. Now if I move it back to where it was and I try it again, obviously now I have to parent it to the actual bone because it wasn't doing it before. But now if you notice, I'm sorry, let me just go back before I unlocked it. There we go. Now if you notice, the muscle flexes. There's like some twisting here which I'm gonna fix. Let me actually try doing that now. Well, don't worry about that. That can be fixed by just changing the orientation. Right now it's orienting in Y, and it should actually be in X, because if I show you here and I try to orient these, as you see, it's aimed in X. To the exception of this one, because this one doesn't really matter. This is just for example, but it's aimed in X, as you see. Okay, so basically the way it works is basically, if I don't know how 3D Max it works, but in Maya you have to paint weights, which means you have to give certain weights to each joint in order for Maya to know, this joint affects this area and then this one affects this one. In this case, I already transferred the weights that I did on this very basic thing or arm or whatever, and I also painted jiggle weights because this is pretty much what muscles are used. So you have these weights. I'm going to show you right now the jiggle weights on this. Let me go here on my muscle submenu, and if I click on paint, if I click on the nerve sphere, which is the muscle, you're going to see how only this area is affected pretty much. So I can come in here and paint, all this, paint, I'm painting very little by little. So all this, all the red is basically going to be jiggling, then this is just going to be, side effects to it, okay? That's pretty much it. So let's just leave it there for now. Also, you can see that this has also weights. So if I come here and I go to edit smooth skin, and then I come to, where is it, paint weights, you'll see that this joint number 1, let me show you, joint number 1 has this much influence, joint number 2 has this much influence, and then joint number 3 is blank because the end joints don't really get influence. Okay, that's much for that. So now if I flex it, watch what happens. You see how the muscle bulges to the shape of the muscle? Obviously the weights here are not that good, but my point is that it bulges. If I come here and I show you an x-ray, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You see how the muscle's pushing the skin? Okay, well this is the really cool part when it comes to this. Basically, hold on, let me take this x-ray off. Now watch, I'm going to take the muscle off so you can see the actual skin moving. Well, let me first show you the muscle, right? I did a short animation. Basically the muscle is just doing this. You can see the jiggle effect on it. Okay, so now this is with the painted weights. You see the jiggle? This is basically why you would do this, so that the jiggling transfers over to the actual skin. So you get this realistic, you know, jiggle movement. And that's basically it. So yeah, let me know if you need anything else. Thanks.